I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing.
I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why? Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out? So you said, so long ago. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. You sought adventure. You hungered for battle. You could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled. There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I have kept it, so I would never forget. Indeed, a lightsaber is the mark of a Jedi. When you turned your back on the Order, it was not yours anymore. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order. Then you misunderstand its meaning while it is in my possession, and what it now represents. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice. So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way. Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us. Of course I was. But the Jedi teachings require we examine how we may best help them. Action without reflection is not our way. There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite. A physical victory perhaps, but the real victory lay in... You do not know... How dare you? The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died. You see shadows where there are none, and hate where there is none. You are blind, as always. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here? Your concern is noted. Your friends have not been harmed. They have been detained for their safety. I find it unusual that you are traveling with others again. I had thought you had forsaken the company of others after the war. Or is that why you are here? Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hall. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility. Of course you admit nothing. That would require facing and examining your actions. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done? Without the fuel from Paragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet, and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds. Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime. So you still hold to your flawed convictions. If you think to anger me, you are wrong. How is it that you are not content to confine your ruin to yourself? You must spread it to others wherever you go. Ruin yourself with your actions if you will. But when your actions bring harm to others, then you must answer for it. The Sith? What do you mean? You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. Tell me, where did you encounter them? Paragus? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you. There are no more Jedi, except I. Like you, they turned from the Order, and now only I remain. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go, to see if you would lead them here. You offer your aid? After turning your back on me? On the Council? The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that, something you never seem to understand. Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, perhaps our defenses shall be stronger for it. Take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there we can call a council and see what can be done. Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove her, mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, mistress?
The exile reminded me of something I had forgotten.
Forgive me, mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Was she important to you once?
We all have our heroes, and when we watch them fall, we die inside. She made a choice once, and I did not. The day we judged her, I stood in the chamber, and she was so right. She was so certain of it. I doubted myself, but not now. She will never make me doubt myself again. But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here. Why have you approached me?
Did you find what you came for? There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still. There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious. Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force. Very well, let us depart. He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash. I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we? This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar... Of course, General. If you wish, I may travel with you or join you at the ship. Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. So it was a matter of choice then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice. Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. You may ask. I am aware of this. I do not doubt your combat prowess, as my half-sisters do. There are many who went to war against the Mandalorians, and few returned. You were one of them. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. I do not wish to discuss it. If there is something else you wish to ask, you may do so. There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like? Please, I wish to know.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebonhawk. Not so smug now, are you, you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you. We're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What does the machine say? We seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out. And so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You were correct, Kavar. When she was here, I felt it. It was as if she was not there. More like an echo.
The war has touched the youngest of the Order. Many of them have lost themselves in battle against the Mandalorians.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. She has lost herself. She is no Jedi. She walked Revan's path, but she was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. She has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let her depart. She will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with her, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let her go because we must. Where she travels, she carries her destination with her.
Malachor 5 should have been her grave. You saw it in her walk, and in the Force. It was as if she was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and she cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told her the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believe was true. There's still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years we will call her before us and explain what happened to her, and how she may be healed. Until then, she must accept her journey.
But she may never discover the truth, and she will never know why we cast her out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I never said you were. But whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
Got a minute?
I'm a little busy here. What is it?
Won't take more than a minute.
All right, I'll work while you talk.
Look, your friend, the Jedi, you know her from way back, don't you? How much do you know about her, really?
Her? You mean the general? Yeah, during the war, if that's what you mean by way back. Can't say I know too much about her, though.
Better than anyone else on this ship. Just give me your opinion, okay? And don't laugh.
I'm trying to work here, Hatton.
I was just wondering if you thought maybe she and I might...
You're being serious.
You said you wouldn't laugh.
You are being serious. Hatton, she was a general. I was just a tech. Your guess is about as good as mine.
Well, what's your guess then?
I'm getting back to work.
Hey! I'm being serious here. You're laughing at me? I'll put you on the scrap heap, you walking tin can.
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior. If it wasn't for me, we'd all be floating in space. I think I can handle a few repairs to your circuits. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place. Yes, General? Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape. Yes, General? Sure do, General. I've made a few while I wasn't working on the ship. Here you go. Just remember, the best shield is not getting shot at all. Something else I can help you with? Yes, General?
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic, I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Something up?
All right.
Yes? Have you come? Then ask, and I will... There is nothing wrong with my sight, if that is your question. I see all that I need, though the seeing of things flesh and blood has failed me some time ago. They were distractions only. There is nothing wrong with my eyes. They simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes, silhouettes. If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight. But sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted.
Well, here we are. The Smuggler's Moon. It's the gaping maw of Nal Hutta, swallowing all the cargo and spaceport thugs the galaxy has to offer.
Mandalorians, mercenaries, war veterans, and pilots from the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War ended up on Nar Shaddaa, from all sides of the conflict. When the last war ended, there was no place left for them to go. Nar Shaddaa's a rough place and easy to get lost in. Or for someone to get lost. If we wanted to keep out of sight from the Sith for a while, you couldn't pick a better spot. Yeah, some came looking for work running freight and cargo. Still, there's only so many ships to go around and so many workers, so others lend their weapons to the Hutts in the exchange. It's become a prime base for raider recruitment across the galaxy. It won't be easy. There's so much traffic on Nar Shaddaa. Finding anyone... We're gonna touch down in the refugee sector. There's a lot more traffic there, and it's harder for people to spot you coming in. Or find you once you arrive.
Anyone flying the Star Lanes has docked on Nar Shaddaa at least once.
I've plotted a course for the refugee sector, and we should touch down within the hour. Once we're down, we should finally be able to breathe easy. There's no way anyone's gonna find us here.
Perhaps you have heard that the Jedi comes to Nar Shaddaa. While she walks upon the Smuggler's Moon, she is not to be harmed. Observe her, track her, but do not eclipse her movements, or I shall eclipse yours. You must, because one Jedi attracts others. It is the way of things.
Dawachosimu poindorakawa ichirendumu paramakawana abawasi. You kroren wan mapusiti nolara.
Honto no saka, jita bedwana maticha, kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupanaret atamakcha.
Taranamo sibu endasarans, crema sunkun ratungala, chawi mo jubu nkosoracha. Bomababe wanto susintu mukarata. Tu es rectonatada per mabar chokto. Torenibu inturata sisi me burokra.
Request. If Goto's vessel is no longer neutral ground, inform us so that we might initiate assassination protocols and commence firing at once.
Kavadumpe masuraku popayi botenya tachimurota kamsa. Javasko bosabjo, Rijisa karanokso. Mochito sasakindeyu. Kichu no kada mirenito. Renfiloso ni heku chupanaret atamakcha. Tahupo boteño go jucho picha, taba ni sochu, norotoga proto lalashishi, jubadosa jibacha, ratakmansan, tokosha na chitolo.
Observation. Jedi follow the self-destructive path of pacifism and tolerance. They will not attack first.
Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Doveri nincha, yonona shitasa chuch. Gole rosodish. Ranta klas mobas.
Ah, the beautiful stench and decay of desperate living.
This moon, it teems with life. It is difficult to center oneself.
Word of warning, watch where you step, or you'll fall for hours. No, but I forgot to tell them we were landing. The refugee sector's a dead zone. No one cares too much who flies in and out of here as long as they're not carrying cargo that the Exchange or the Hutts might want a piece of. Maybe a little, but landing here means we didn't have to transmit our ID signature. You know what trouble that always brings. In fact, while we're here, we should get those signatures changed. Wouldn't make us such a target when we enter a new system. All right then, let's move out. Where are we headed exactly?
It does not matter where we go. If what we seek is here, we shall come upon it in due time.
Yeah, if you want to stay on the ship and meditate some more, don't let us stop you.
Finding a Jedi, or anyone else touched by the Force here, will be difficult. The mass of people, the rush of their emotions. It makes detection difficult, but this moon does not get any smaller while we wait. This sector is as good as any place to begin our search, so let us begin.
Well, if we're gonna search a moon of a few billion inhabitants for one Jedi that even our own can't sense, might as well start as soon as possible. And just being here should be enough. People in the refugee sector don't tend to ask too many questions. We should be safe enough. Alright, if you have any questions, just ask. We should be able to leave the ship here as long as we want. No one supervises these landing pads anymore.
You there!
Uh-oh.
What's with you? Letting that piece of junk sink its struts into my landing pad! Huh? My trash heap? Fine. Land there. My trash heap's all that's keeping your ship from making the final plunge. And trust me, it won't be long in coming, I promise you. I got some visitors booked for your space, but I'm sure the two of you can work it out when they arrive.
Just say the word.
No! Look, you can't keep us trapped in the refugee sector. We can't survive there. You've got us locked in.
Everyone down! More where that came from!
Thanks for your help. They would have crippled me for sure. Well, they work for the Exchange, for a Quarren named Visquis. He's looking to step up in the Exchange. The only language the Exchange respects is money, so Visquis is trying to increase his profits by using the refugees here in Nar Shaddaa as a cheap labor force. We're only good to him as slaves and merchandise. He wants to keep us in one place, so he can control us. That's always been the way. Well, except lately. The Exchange has been clamping down on the refugee sector hard, and I've no idea why. They've started kidnapping people, hurting others, but there seems to be no reason to it. You don't. He comes to you, if he's got reason to. Either because you can help him out, or because you're making trouble. Either way, it's not a good thing. Whatever your reasons, thanks.
Spare a few credits, friend? All right. I don't know much beyond the refugee sector here, but I can share what I know. Jedi Master? There aren't any Jedi Masters in the galaxy, let alone on Nar Shaddaa. This place is a cesspit, with the Exchange and the Hutt stabbing their claws into everything. But you know, I did hear something about a bounty on Jedi, though. Something the Exchange posted. Doesn't matter, though. Aren't any more Jedi around, so no one's going to be collecting that bounty. You're lying. You're mad. A Jedi wouldn't come to the... You're serious. You're telling the truth. What are you doing here? Are you trying to get us out of this place? Please, you have no idea what life is like here. Of course. Of course. Tell me, what else did he want to know, Jedi? Not much to say, except it's a high price. You need to find a bounty hunter to get more, and they've been pretty scarce lately. You might have more luck trying to find someone connected to the Exchange. And I don't mean some spaceport muscle, I mean someone connected. Look, Jedi, before you go, I know you probably didn't come here to save us, but I knew Jedi during the war, and I know that they always helped when they could. If I can help you, even just by keeping an ear out, I can let you know if I hear anything. I'll do that then. I'll come seek you out if I hear anything I think you might want to know.
I saw what you did to those Exchange thugs, stranger. Can you spare a few credits, maybe help another refugee in need? Thank you, stranger. I won't forget your kindness.
Why did you do such a thing? Such kindnesses will mean nothing. His path is set. Giving him what he has not earned is like pouring sand into his hands. And would that be a kindness? What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another? The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see. By giving him something he has not earned, perhaps all you have helped him become is a target. Seeing another elevated often brings the eyes of others who suffer. And perhaps in the end, all you have wrought is more pain. And that is my lesson to you. Be careful of charity and kindness, lest you do more harm with open hands than with a clenched fist. Very well, but mind what I have said. Use your power, but in its proper place.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. You must. The alternative is only another death. And I would rather die by your hands. I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. I heard they had a colony on the Midrim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why. Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see. And they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them. They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky. Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
T3, you have been with us since Terrace. Without you, we would never have escaped that place. And for that, I thank you. I'm leaving this message inside you because I have seen glimpses of the future. And the bond that he and I share does not allow him to hide everything from me. More of his memories have returned, and they trouble him. He has remembered something. Something on the edge of the galaxy, and he believes that he must go there to end it. But I am afraid for him. Afraid that he may not return. I need you to be the beacon, T3. If he is lost out there, on the edge of the galaxy, if he finds whatever terrible thing he has seen, then he may not survive. If he doesn't make it back, then I need you to return to the Republic. Find help. If you cannot find me, then seek out other Jedi. The Republic, I can't lose him, even if he believes he is protecting me.
Another visitor? You must be here to join in the plunder of the old Jedi Enclave. You have to see Administrator Adari first. You're one of the salvagers, right? Your ship looks banged up enough to be part of that lot, but you look different. Have you taken a look at your ship recently? It looks like it's been chewed up and spit out by a Wookiee. Twice. But you're the boss, so your ship is in just great shape. You really don't look like a salvager, though. Why did you come here? Just to see the sights, right? You're just another salvager. Go see Administrator Adari in Kunda if you want to get into the ruins. Kunda is the big building just outside the landing port. It used to be the estate of a man named Matali, but he and his family disappeared around the time of the bombardment. The Administrator rebuilt it, and now this is our center of government. I know it doesn't look like much, but there aren't many settlers that live on this planet. This building is the start of something new for us. We're very proud of it.
We're working on it. Is there anything else you'd want to talk about? She was the agricultural administrator of Dantooine. After the Sith attack, she kept us together. Without her, the only thing you'd see around here are mercenaries. We had problems with Mandalorian mercenaries even before the Jedi Civil War. The Jedi helped clear most of the problem up, but after the war, many soldiers from both sides of the conflict became mercenaries. And since we're so far from the core, some started gathering here. The difference between an out-of-work mercenary and a raider is a vibrorblade's edge. The only thing we can prove they've done is intimidate a few farmers. The farmers give them goods, money, or food just to stay on their good side. The only one that isn't scared of them is the administrator. There have also been a lot of disappearances recently, and not all of them can be blamed on Kath hounds. But nobody can prove the mercenaries are responsible. A farmer here and there, or a family. We lost enough people during the war that keeping the Kath hound and Kinrath populations under control hasn't been possible. So there are a lot of animal attacks. Some deaths, too. The disappearances might be just coincidence, but a lot of the stubborn folk seem to be more accident-prone. Have you ever sliced a Jedi security door? The old ruins are secure from salvagers unless they get permission from Adare. Just head into the building and you'll find your way to the administrator. I'll be over by the entrance if you need anything else.